Yes people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it for whatever that's worth, and always, most importantly, asking for yours. Matt Law with his finger on the pulse when it comes to Chelsea, as always, giving us the lowdown on a couple of things. The head honcho of Chelsea's medical department is stepping down for family reasons, causing a reshuffle in Chelsea Football Club, and as we know, the medical team maybe haven't been doing their job that well lately, or at least 12 injuries or whatever crazy amount of players out it's been would say that. And actually, really excitingly, Chiesa is being recalled from Leicester City to join the Chelsea squad this January transfer window. Obviously, there's good and bad sides to this for the player. We're going to get into all of it today. So thanks for joining me. Strap yourselves in, get comfortable, pour yourselves a drink. I want to thank you for joining me here today. And if you dig the content, you're welcome to show your support simply by liking the video and subscribing. Only if you like the content, but if you choose to subscribe, hit the bell and notifications icon. Alright, let's get into it. Matt Law confirms Chelsea in further shake-up as medical chief leaves over family reasons. Dimitros Kalogiannidis has been at Stamford Bridge more than 13 years. He's stepping down. That is the only time I'm going to attempt to say that guy's name. I'm guessing he's Greek or something. But being at Chelsea for 13 years and stepping down. Now, he's not been sacked. Apparently, it's really amicable between him and the owners and everything. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And for family reasons, he's leaving. Fair enough. Hope everything's cool with him. And Chelsea have said, look mate, if you want to come back eventually, you can as well. But this means there will be a reshuffle in the medical department with Chelsea Football Club. Of course, we've had countless high-profile injuries, and Nkunku, Lavia, and both the fullbacks in Chilwell and James. Of course, you know, Fofana's got an injury as well. All high-profile possible starters have been out, and loads in between as well. Now, I'm not blaming any individual for all of these problems at Chelsea Football Club, but I do wonder if there should be a, I don't know, like an audit of how Chelsea run their medical team and their department. Of course, we reference this a lot here on the channel. There was a long period where Chelsea didn't get any injuries. We just had a team full of titans that were always available and always winning. So, where along the way did we become weak and fragile? And is it the medical department's fault? It would be remiss of me not to mention the fact how lots of teams have a high volume of injury. It's probably a fallout from, or maybe like a hangover from the pandemic when there was congested playtime and, you know, different training periods and ways of training. You know, the World Cup in 2022 and maybe everything sort of catching up. And of course, just more and more games as time goes on. You know, Liverpool have got loads of injuries, Newcastle, Man United. It is seemingly like a trend across the league. But Chelsea, a lot. So hopefully this can be assessed by the ownership, the sporting directors, and we can structure the medical department appropriately to protect the Chelsea players moving forwards, because this can't go on. We can't constantly have all our best players injured. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, if you do indeed have an opinion on it, and let's move on and talk about Chiesa. It's confirmed Chelsea are recalling the young Italian attacking midfielder from his loan at Leicester City. If you remember, we signed Chiesa from Inter Milan's academy. He, of course, was a really highly rated prospect. Cost us a few quid as well, especially considering he wasn't a first-teamer at Inter. Scores a lot of goals from midfield. He's quite tall. He captained the Italy youth side, a team that did very well in recent competitions, and generally is one of the players that Chelsea signed that almost immediately increased value. One of the many Project 2030 young players that we've bought, and a lot of them do look like they could be really good and increased value. Malo Gusto, surely his value has soared. We bought him when he was 19 and he just looks like a good Premier League right back immediately from Lyon. You know, Santos could be a star. Kendry Pires could be a star. You know, Cesare Cazadei, Leslie Ugachukwu, Angelo over at Strasbourg. There's a whole bunch that have very high potential. Noni Madueke, of course, U21 player as well. Cole Palmer! So many youngsters that look like they could be really good. Kind of gets forgotten about that there is a lot of well-purchased talent by the owners. If this plan does come together, it will actually make Chelsea look really good. So, fingers crossed. Chelsea fans very excited about Chiesa, the second coming of Frank Lampard, a goal-scoring number 8. Certainly you drop him in where Enzo's playing at the moment, I have a feeling he gets more goals. He loves a header as well, he loves scoring a header. Now, he's not a starter always for Leicester City, but he's played a lot of minutes this season. He's made 25 appearances across all competitions for Leicester City this season, which is pretty strong, really. In the Championship, he's made 14 substitute appearances. He's actually got 2 goals for them, both being really important, I think, as well. He's got a goal in the FA Cup as well, and just looks like he's really settled when playing in men's football. He's got a good pass completion, he wins quite a lot of aerials. He's just a really strong asset in the midfield. I really like him as well. The fact how he captained that Italy youth team as well just shows he's a bit of a leader as well. But he's built like he can handle top flight Premier League football. And like I said, midfielders that can win headers as well in the box, we're just lacking that as well. You know, when you look at Caicedo and Enzo and Gallagher, they all have their really like niche abilities, but just to stick a midfielder in there that like win you headers in the box and is good for a goal or whatever, it just looks like, yeah, yes please. Now I know he hasn't got radical goal scoring numbers in the Championship, he's only got 2 goals, but if you've watched Cesare Cassidy play, you know the type of player he is. He is quite direct as a midfielder, and he just put it about, and he will score you clutch goals as well. He's just a great player. Now you've got to look at this from his side as well. Of course, he's playing for Leicester City, he's a valued asset for Leicester City. He's 14 appearances in the league, playing in both the cup competitions for Leicester, and they're gonna win the Championship. This isn't a middling Championship side. For him to get that much action for the side that's probably gonna win the title and win a trophy is saying a lot, to be honest, man. But you're kind of robbing him of that experience. It must be a real good, feel-good factor over there at the moment. He's probably made friends. He's probably feeling the team spirit of his team. And to, rob him of a title-winning campaign, a trophy lift in men's football for the first time of his career, you're going to feel bad for it in that sense, but at the same time, this has happened historically through so many occasions, so many clubs where a player's having a good first half of the season, maybe on to win a trophy, and because he's playing well, his parent club pull him back, because this is just how it is. Look man, if Chelsea were going really well, and we were flying, and Lavia was fit, and Ogachukwu was fit, we'd probably not do it. But the truth is, because there's concerns there, that's probably why. I imagine, or I'd like to think, Chelsea looking at him thinking of, yeah, this is a good loan for him, let's leave him there. That would probably be their first thought, but because maybe we could deal with him, it's like, look, we got to look after number 1 here. We got to look after ourselves. And though Cassidy might be disappointed to leave this campaign that's quite exciting for him at Leicester, there's probably still a sort of dopamine hit feel-good factor of Pochettino recalling you like, yep, I want you, mate, come back here, we're going to use you in the first team. Being a regularly used substitute for Chelsea is still better than being like a regular used substitute for Leicester City in the Championship. So hopefully he'll feel good about that. And Chelsea is still in 2 cup competitions. Maybe he wins a cup with Chelsea. I actually really like it. I'm quite excited about it. Look, if he does quite well for Chelsea, he might get a good Premier League loan next season. If he does really well for Chelsea, he might just stay in the first team. You don't know what's going to happen. Look, what if he does really, really well, scores a few goals, just links up really well with, like, I don't know, a striker or a winger, and then, Enzo Fernandez rides the bench for a little bit. I don't know, it could happen, man. Also, he could play in a 4-2-3-1 formation, and there could be, Conor Gallagher, for amazing as he's been, and he has been amazing, there might be certain games where you have the ball more, and you're not going to need that sort of counter press, those high turnovers that Conor Gallagher offer. So you play a 4-2-3-1, and maybe, Cesare Cassidy plays in the number 10, or, maybe he plays in a double, like a really sort of radically attacking double pivot. Frank Lampard used to play in a double pivot sometimes as a number 8. Who knows? I can see him being used, actually, and certainly being used as a closer. If you think of Pochettino's substitutions of late, there's some recurring themes, and not always the most viable players on the bench for seeing out games. I reckon Cesare Cassidy could be that. I genuinely am quite excited about this. He's a great player. I think he'd do well to be coached by Pochettino a bit more. Of course, he's seen him a bit in pre-season, but I'm feeling pretty good about it, and it makes sense. I think a lot of people are a little bit worried that we're not doing business, buying players, and we're getting, rather we're getting players sent out instead, like Datro Fofana, Ian Maatsen, which I think are both good moves. To be honest, this could prove to be the most sensible thing, not getting taken for a ride in the January transfer window and paying overinflated fees for players in mid-season. If he wants midfield cover, recall one of your own midfielders who's playing really well at a high level in English football. It makes sense. You know, everyone's freaking out about the profit and sustainability rule breaches, and although Chelsea is supposed to be safe, let's just wait till the summer. Look, say Poch, you got all these players. How about you bring Chiesa back? He's doing well. Extra cover. Yeah, cool. You know, really everyone wants a striker. And there's still time in the transfer window. Who knows? Maybe we will bring a short-term option in. You know, a lot of Chelsea fans are really coming around to the idea of a Karim Benzema 6 months loan. And also, if it's a 6-month loan, Chelsea could break their wage structure because they're not signing him onto a long-term deal on really expensive wages. It's like, look, we all know what this is. Don't get jealous, friggin', I don't know, whoever, Jackson or Breuer, about the money this guy's going to make. It's Karim Benzema. He makes a lot of money anyway, and look what he's won, like 1,000 Champions Leagues. We're just renting him for 6 months. He's going to be on high wages. No one's going to get upset about that. You know, so I'm not saying Benzema's coming. There's been a discussion apparently. I think it's unlikely, but Chelsea might still look to get a short-term option for a striker. So anyway, I just wanted to react on the medical department shifts and of course Cesare Cassale being recalled. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. I feel pretty good about it personally. I really like the player. I quite like how he looks when he plays. Comment down below. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And hopefully I'll see you back here soon. Peace.